Japan continue their dominance over in the World Cup with a fantastic 4-0 win over Tunisia. Is there a real threat they're going to top this group? Well, of course, we're going to get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at the Group F encounter between Tunisia and Japan. It was done late last night, and of course Japan turned on the star. That's right, Hervé Renard, of course, on board here for the Tunisians, couldn't change a damn thing. That's right, of course, massive loss, 9 goals conceded. What's, of course, the next on the agenda? We'll get into all of that and much more in a second. If you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe and what's up short for Blackburn Rovers World Cup reviews. That's right, we're going to review this Group F encounter in just a second. Big shout out to my members though, big shout out to my patrons, big shout out to you. Can we get 48 likes for this fantastic match? And of course a like for each and every one of the nations at this World Cup. Please, please, please smash the old like. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, Tunisia against Japan. It was a 4-0 demolition job. And of course, 2 halves with 2 goals in each half. Of course, Dachi Kameda up and running with a goal on the 4th minute. Yasi Oyeda chipping in with a second to put this pretty much game to bed already. And of course, speaking of bed, it was a late like that last night, of course. Second half, of course, continued to be one-way traffic. Ito getting the third. And then, of course, Ueda got a second for himself to put himself in the mixer for that golden boot stuff. But 11 shots, just the 2 for Tunisia in a very, very one-sided game. Japan dominating it, didn't give Tunisia anything. And, of course, poor Hervé Renard's coming into this grand plan here after Lamucci's sacking after the first game. This is probably warrant another sacking here. So Tunisia in free fall. Tunisia probably in the mixer for the worst team at this tournament so far. And I do believe their World Cup journey is already over. I'm trying to think. They've got the Dutch next. I don't think they can qualify with Japan winning, the Dutch win, the Swede winning. That head-to-head also eliminates them. So I do believe Tunisia's journey is already over. It's been a shambolic World Cup for them. It's only 2 games in, 9 goals conceded. Absolutely horrific stuff. But Japan, though, just continue to bubble. Of course, impressive performance against the Dutch. A solid performance here now. All it takes is a decent result against Sweden to really put them in the agenda. Also, put them in the mix potentially as group winners here in Group F. We'll talk about that in a minute, of course. But look at the performance here. The Japan dominated, possession based as well, 62% compared to that 38% for Tunisia, who again have been woeful so far. These were the players involved for both sets of teams here. Coming to the Stadio BBVA. That must have been over in Mexico. Ayman Dame between the sticks there with Masasa Talibi, Omar Rekitic there with Dylan Brom making up a back 3. Into the midfield of Il Shakiri and Ben Salmani, Ran Valerie and Al Abedi on the 4-man midfield. Hannibal, Ellis Said, Sebastian Tueki in the attacking ranks there. As for Japan, Sion Suzuki between the sticks, Hiroko Ito at the back there, Ikoko Ikaturo, Tashiko Tamayasu making up a back 3, Kiyoshi Seno, Ayo Tanaka, Dachi Kameda, Junior Into, Lika Kito Nakamura, and Ritsu Dua making up a 5-man midfield, or even a 6-man midfield there, with Ayusa Ayunda up top to make the striker with a couple of goals, of course, 2 for him. For the Japanese. As for the substitutions, we saw Mohamed Al-Hamaida coming on there, Rani Kiedra, Alice Achuri, Ismail Gahabi, and Fias Chota, but no effect for them. As for the Japan, we also saw AM Seiko coming on there, Junshio Shikui, Yunaki Sagura, Yekazuka Suzuki, and Kishiki Goko coming on there for the Japanese. But ultimately, the game was won by the starters, all 4 goals coming in from them guys. And of course, on to the performance itself at the Group F. 4-0 demolition job, 6.21 on average for Tunisia, not great. Melchby, Hannibal got them the best performance with a 6.8. But everyone else kind of sucked ass. As for the Japanese, standout, Ueda with a 9.6, Tanaka with a 7.2, Sena with a 7.7, and of course back 9, Ikatura as well with 7.9. So bossed it with a 7.19 on average. As you can see, for the momentum, Japan really took it, stole the show. Tunisia had some moments, but they were very fleeting. The goal was kind of divvied up, really. Goal before the hydration break, after the hydration break, before the hydration break, after the hydration break. So it's kind of, take those opportunities and go with it. So very clinical by Japan. And again, another statement result for them. And it put them in a good position in Group F, as you can see. Behind Netherlands, though, appearing on that goal difference. There's a plus 1, or plus 1 goal scored there for the Dutch. But Tunisia will take on the Netherlands next. Japan take on Sweden, which will be a difficult game. I probably, I anticipate it be finishing as this. The Dutch, the Japanese, Sweden. Now I think the Dutch rode the storm against Sweden, showed us what they were really all about, and kind of burst a bubble in my own eyes. But ultimately, Japan still look good and definitely a team to fear heading into those round of 32. As for the fan base out there, we've got Matea Jonah said respect the win, but I'm watching if they can really go all the way. Meanwhile, Henry, Chelsea 2580, total domination from beginning to end. They didn't give the Tunisian players a sniff of the ball. Controlled, dictated, and decided to play. Tunisia, despite sacking the coach, was still worse than before. Sad that their journey ends here, but super proud Japanese boys, well deserved. Meanwhile, vindicated Chile. Tunisia has no business being at this World Cup. A total disgrace. You can't lose 5 in your first game and 4 in your second game. A total of 9 goals conceded. Big J said, y'all shouldn't sleep on Japan on this current 2026 FIFA World Cup. They'll upset a lot of European giants. And Needle, Japan were outstanding and follow up their good performance against the Holland by demolishing a truly dreadful Tunisian side. All the goals were good. They looked fluid in attack and comfortable in defence. They are going to be dangerous for any team in the next round. Dark horses. Speaking of those, well, look at this, guys. 87% of you got it right with the prediction there. Tunisia had 10% of the vote. The draw was at 4%. As for the ping pong balls, I got it wrong with the 0-0 score. And the cat, she got it right. Of course she did. With Japan. What about me, though? I'm heading to the board. As for me, I went with a 2-0 win for Japan over Tunisia, so close to the mark on that. So all we need now is update the scoreboard for Japan here. Big fat 4-0 win, put them in complete control of their own destiny, looking ever so close to get round to 32, but still got a job to do to secure that. But until then, that's all I've got. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, Japan continue to move the pendulum over in Group F. Of course, now looking to take top spot in their final game. Speaking of that, we'll have the review here on the channel. Sweden against Japan, the Dutch against Tunisia. How will it all pan out? Who will make it through? Of course, all that to be resolved in match number 3. But until then, we're done.